Hey everyone. I had a different shirt on and then I just decided to eat dinner and I spilled my lemon water in my shirt. So I put on a hoodie. It is what it is. Tonight I wanted to talk about why you're not manifesting, why your manifestations are not coming true. So most people learn about manifestation from The Secret. And what The Secret basically teaches you is that your thoughts create your manifestations. Follows the same concept of your thoughts create your reality. And now law of attraction and manifesting are the same thing essentially. When you're following the law of attraction, that's when you're manifesting. Now, The Secret, while it explains many things very well, it leaves out a lot of very practical tips for manifesting in your life. So if you've been following The Secret and you're wondering why you're not manifesting, or you're wondering why your manifestations are only coming true sometimes, then this is for you. So perfect example is when they talk about in The Secret, they say the concept of getting a parking spot. Now, the idea is if you didn't see it, if you haven't read the book, you can envision when you're going to the mall, for example, that you will get an open parking spot very close up, like the first spot, second spot. And then when you get to the mall, you will have that first or second spot will be open for you. That is a great concept, but they don't explain it fully as to why that will work for so many people. And that is because most people can believe that if they go to the mall that they could get an open parking spot, or they can just believe that they could get an open parking spot. That's believable for them. It's tangible for them to wrap their mind around because they believe in it. That is the key essence that they leave out. If you don't believe in something, you won't be able to manifest it. So if you were to, on the other hand, if the example was, okay, now the next time you open your mail, picture that there was a $10,000 check in the mail. Not everyone would be able to get behind that because not everybody believes that they could get a $10,000 check in the mail. Money has so many limiting beliefs around it, and so many of us for so long generationally have had so many issues with money that that's not going to be as easy. Money is actually the hardest thing to manifest just because we have so many ingrained beliefs, and most people around you are still going to have those beliefs because it's very new that people are even getting into money manifestation. So don't be surprised if you're starting to manifest and there's still a lot of people around you that aren't doing it. Soon, I'm sure there will be, but get excited because you're just going to be able to show other people that this is possible for them in their lives. Because whenever we follow our desires, that's really creation wanting to express itself. So you should always follow your desires because it's always leading you on the right path. And when you do this, you give other people the courage to do it. And so you're not only transforming your life, you're helping other people transform their lives. And that's where the real magic lies. So now, the essential ingredient, like I was saying, is the belief. You have to believe in what you're trying to manifest. If you don't believe in it, it's not going to happen. So anytime you have something that you don't believe in, your work is then going to undo those beliefs. Those are called limiting beliefs. So if you say, I want to have a house in Malibu, and then a voice in your head goes, okay, but you can't ever afford to live in Malibu because those are $1 million homes. That right there, that voice is a limiting belief. Anything that's making you not feel amazing is what I like to call limiting beliefs, because it can be about anything. But that's not ultimately true, right? Because you could invent something, maybe it's even a digital course, and you create it and you launch it, and then people love it, and then you end up making $100,000 in a month, and you make that every single month. Now that house in Malibu is absolutely a reality. But if you keep telling yourself that belief and keep believing into it, it's never going to come true. So the work is to identify what you want, and then whatever belief comes up that tells you you can't have that, examine that belief. See if it came from your past, like when you were 0 to 7, because that's when your subconscious forms. If it's not something super triggering like that, then it'll be very easy to let go of. Then you just look at it and say, well, is this going to get me to my best life? That's what I like to say. Is this going to get me to my best life? Because if the answer is no, then I'm not about that, because I want to live my best life in every circumstance. I want my life to be the best case scenario. So if it's not the best case scenario, then you have to look at the belief. You have to reframe that belief and change it. So for that example, you could say, well, no, that's not true, because I could create a course and that could make, and you could say that to yourself, and so anytime that belief came up, you would just repeat that. And it sounds obnoxious for me to repeat it, but if you just keep repeating it to yourself whenever you have a limiting belief, that's how you start to shift your belief, because your neural pathway for your brain automatically goes to the easiest path, which is what you've normally believed. So if you've believed something your entire life, then that's where it's going to go, just because it saves the most amount of energy getting there. And that's what your brain wants to do, is conserve energy. But if you continue to reprogram it, so that way every time you have a limiting belief around whatever you want to manifest, you change it to the opposite, that's how you'll start believing. Because a belief is ultimately something that you continuously think over and over again, so that it creates a belief. And honestly, you can think something for 21 days and then it becomes your reality. Now, this is really the biggest work in manifestation. It's going to be you changing your beliefs. If you're not believing in it and you're not getting behind it, you won't be able to manifest it. So just make sure that you do that work. And if it's around relationships, you're gonna have to look at your past relationships. If it's around money, you're gonna have to look at how you've been in the past with money. You really do have to work through all of the triggers and work through all of the beliefs that tell you that you can't have something, because you get to have everything you've ever wanted. You absolutely get to have everything you've ever wanted. The only thing that's stopping you is that voice in your head that's telling you no. So we just have to stop that voice in our head from telling us no. And then we get to have tons of space for that voice that's like, all right, let's get it. And then that's when you start getting everything you've ever wanted. And it can come quickly. That's why you see people that like start doing the work and they're like, oh, this is cool. I got a free coffee, and then it's like littler things. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, man, like something went really great. And then the next month it's within a year, someone's life can truly transform just because they did the work of changing those beliefs. Those beliefs are what is holding everyone back, because that's your mindset. Your mindset is ultimately what's going to change the game. You have to be taking care of your body physically, but then once you do that, you have to take care of your mindset. And the thing is, once you reprogram it and do the heavy work, then it goes on autopilot, which it likes to do. Take 21 days to reprogram your brain, and then the rest of your life you've reprogrammed it for success, you've reprogrammed it for abundance, you've reprogrammed it for trips to Bali and whatever the hell you've ever wanted. Like, that's where the fun's at. That's when you get to be a co-creator of your life. And you always are that. You just have to step into that role. And that means releasing those beliefs. Because that's another thing that they don't talk about, is you have to clear space. So you have to believe that you can have something, and then you have to shift those beliefs that tell you can't. And you have to also clear space. So in the very physical sense, if you want to call in a Gucci bag, if your closet is overflowing, you don't have room for the Gucci bag, girl. You got to make some room. You have to get rid of the things that aren't serving you anymore, whether that be donate it or give it to your friends or whatever it is. And you don't have to feel bad about it. You can Marie Kondo it if you want to. Say thank you and then release it, but you have to get it out of your space. And then you also have to mentally get it out of your space. So that means clearing up not only those limiting beliefs, but where's your head going throughout your day, like in your day to day. So if you're trying to call in your dream relationship and you're like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write down all the qualities I want in the person on my, on a manifestation list. I'm going to write it down and then I'm going to think about it. That's great. And that's absolutely one step that you should take. But then if you're throughout the day, if you're, say we're in normal times because COVID, you might not be walking around as much, but go with me. Say you're walking around and you see a couple together and you think, oh, well, how is he with her? She's not pretty enough to be with him. I'm prettier than her. And it doesn't have to be that petty, but we've all had thoughts like that. That is you're not helping your situation, and you're not telling yourself that you ultimately want your dream relationship, because you have to be grateful when you see it in other people and be thankful and express love to them as well. Because one thing you have to realize, especially when you're starting out in manifestation, is that if you see something coming true that you want in someone else around you, that's a great sign. You should be celebrating it. Celebrate those wins, because that's you seeing it. That means you're pulling it closer to you. You're one step closer from it being yours. But if you react to that and get jealous or you feel low vibe, then you're telling your subconscious you don't ultimately want it. Then you're not ultimately believing it. And that comes back to that first point. And belief is going to always shut you down if you don't ultimately believe it. This has been on my mind all day. Gratitude for others truly makes it happen. Hell yeah. And that's the thing is another thing that's not talked about enough is celebrating the wins, right? Like, even like if you start seeing angel numbers, that's a great way to just get yourself used to like celebrating wins, because it's a little thing, but it can happen a lot once you start getting tuned into synchronicities. So like whenever I see the 111s and the 666s on license plates, I say that because I just saw it walking my dog. I'm like, hell yeah. And I might not say that out loud, like if I'm walking, but in my head, I will get myself amped up and I'll be like, yes, I see you, universe. I see you. We are on the right page. Like I'm doing the right thing. Whatever it is, like I'm my own personal hype girl. And that's what you should be, because when you get your energy behind what you're calling in, that's when it really comes in quickly. I get a lot of 444. Amen, girl. 444s are, I see 444 on the clock every single day. It's like without fail. And that's awesome, because that's something that you have that's super pinpointed. So anytime you see the 444s, you can be like, yes, and say it in your head, but like that feeling, that energy when you're like, yes, it comes in, and that's when you're thriving on it. So get amped, get behind it, and be grateful for other people as well. So and acknowledge it when it's happening, because it's happening for a reason. When it's happening in the world around you, it's because it's on your mind and you're bringing it up. So get excited. Don't get jealous when you see something you want for someone else. Work out that jealousy. Honestly, work on releasing it, because jealousy is a low vibrational trait, and it's never going to get you what you want. It's always going to repel the things that you want from coming closer to you. So just release it. Work on being grateful when other people have things, when you have things. It will raise your vibration instantly, because gratitude is one of the highest vibrational feelings on the scale, and I think love is the only one higher than it. advice on when you feel stuck and like you're not calling in what you want. I have a tendency to want to rush. We all do. We all do, Nandy. So yeah, I do have some advice on that. One, just take a deep breath when that happens. And this is something that I remember when I learned this, I was like, what? But it took me forever to learn. So when you feel like you're stuck or you're not calling in what you want, you're normally thinking about the idea of it not being there. So if you're trying to call in like a $10,000 month and you haven't gotten there, you're normally getting stuck in the, I don't have it yet. Oh my God, I don't have it yet. Oh my God, I don't have it yet. Oh my God, I don't have it yet. And that's what starts making you feel stuck. You're trying to keep the vibe of, I want that $10,000 month. And when you're consciously thinking about it, you can probably get yourself there. But in those off moments, you start going into the, I don't have it. And really it's all about faith in those instances. You have to have faith that it's totally happening, and that time, it doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter, because anything is reversible. Like pretty much, as long as you didn't lose the limb, you know what I mean? It's pretty much reversible. Nothing is life or death. It's just that our mind, our subconscious, always likes to go to the negative, just because that's how it kept us alive in survival times. So if you are focusing on, instead, get yourself behind you having it. If it's you having a Gucci bag, then see yourself walking down the road with that Gucci bag. Feel how amazing it would feel to have that Gucci bag on your shoulder. Picture when you're walking by a building, in the reflection, that Gucci bag is the one that's hanging off your shoulder, and how good that woman feels. That woman that has that Gucci bag. What are the thoughts going through that woman's head? What is that woman feeling on the day-to-day? It's so hard to do when you're not there yet, because you're like, I haven't gotten it yet, so how can I get my energy behind it? But the more you work on raising your energy behind it, it's you showing the universe you do believe it's coming. And it's more about getting into the fun feeling of manifesting and having like an amazing time manifesting. And I get it. Like, I've so many times I've felt there. So I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to make this like any light of the situation. It's just, that is the best way. It like quantum leap yourself through that shit. And that's one of those things. That's one of the things that I wanted to say is quantum leaping is one of the fastest ways to get yourself behind it, because it's you essentially knowing where you are and what the 3D reality is, but understanding that your 3D reality is because of the thoughts you're thinking, the vibe you're feeling, and all of this. So if you can think about the person that would be with all of the things that you want, or just one of the things that you want, if it's too much, just try to shift into that person, feeling like that person, thinking like that person, being that person. Because the more you can be that person, the more your reality is going to show you that you are that person, and it will get behind it. And that's why time doesn't matter, because it can just get behind it so quickly. Once you start getting behind yourself and believing and being, that's another thing that I was going to talk about. You have to be the person. Be as if you've had the thing. So be into it. The more you do that and the more you feel into it, the more you're like, okay, yeah, I am. And then you don't even care when it happens, because you're just having fun and you're just too busy flowing with life. And because what's going to happen is, once you clear up that worrisome space, you get to flow with the universe. So then you're going to have a thought that says, oh, you should go here, or oh, you should do this, or oh, you should go look at that person's social media. And then it's going to lead you to all of these amazing experiences that are going to help you get to where you're trying to go. And you're going to be so caught up in having all this fun that things are just going to appear, and you're going to be like, this is amazing. And that's how you can start like that ball rolling. Just flip yourself into it. That's my work, having fun, staying fun. Yeah, anytime, girl. No, I get it. And you know, that's the one thing, because it's when you start doing personal development work, especially, it gets heavy, right? There's so much shadow work, the limiting beliefs, all of the things your friends don't really understand, like the work you're trying to do. Your family definitely doesn't get it. So you're like, this is already lonely enough, and now I'm trying to do this manifestation thing, which I can't really tell people, but if I could show them this Gucci bag, they'd probably believe me. You know, so I absolutely get it. It's having fun with it is one of the hardest things. What I recommend is when you start feeling stuck, put on a playlist that makes you want to shake your booty and literally just dance around your apartment, dance around your house, just have a fucking blast. Like, sing your lungs out if you can, like, do whatever you want to do, but just get your energy flowing, just shake it out, just have fun. Like, literally forget about what you're trying to manifest, because that is one thing you do have to release it too, that one part that is very hard to do. And that's how you do it, is you really just start living in the present moment. Shake your booty, have fun, really just like laugh, do like the silly things. Last night, the universe was like, I think you should just watch Home Alone. And I was like, I haven't watched Home Alone in 2 decades. I'm gonna watch Home Alone. That'd be so fun. I don't normally watch movies. It was just a thought that came to me, like, that would be really fun if you did that. And it was super fun. I like laughed the whole time. And that's just like a silly thing, but that's something super tangible in quarantine. Did I have to pay for it? Yeah, but like whatever, it was $3.99. You know, anything that I say, like, when you're feeling stuck, move your body, get out of your head, because you're doing amazing work. You're doing amazing work. You're doing great, and you're exactly where you're meant to be, because where you are is going to help you when you become the next person, like the next version of yourself. You'll be able to help so many more people around you because they'll have seen what you went through, or you'll be able to share the story that you went through that nobody else went through. So everything is happening perfectly, and just trust that, and then just release it and just like let go and be silly and open a bottle of wine and have some pizza. You know, like, life is about balance too. Like, you can't always be like perfect and stellar. Sometimes you just gotta live, you know? And that's what I find is just the easiest way, when I just like move my body and let go. A little off topic, but not totally. Like, honestly, manifestation happens when you're feeling good. Like, when you are feeling good, that's when good things happen to you. Because if you think about, like, when you're feeling low vibe, that's when you get the parking ticket. That's when you spill coffee all over your shirt. That's when things happen, because they're aligning with how you're feeling. And that's when the high vibe things aren't coming through. And sometimes we grip onto our manifestation too hard. And sometimes we just have to be like, what is my why? All right, this is what I want. And then this is why I want it. And when you know what you want and why you want it, and you are just 100% clear on those two things, then you get to let go. And you get to say, okay, God, universe, source, whatever you believe in, I'm going to give you the how, because the how's not for me. I'm the co-creator. You're the creator. I've got the what and I've got the why. You do the how. And then what does that mean? That means you're going to get a voice in your head that tells you, oh, like, wouldn't this be fun if you did this? Or, oh, wouldn't this be cool if we went about it this way? You know, and something fresh will come up. It'll be a new idea from somewhere, or you'll be led to go somewhere and you'll see someone, whether it's online or in person, and they'll say something and that will spark something in you to be like, oh wait, that's a really cool idea. I never would have thought of that. And that's how you start being present, and then you start flowing. Because sometimes we get a little too heady about it, and that means that we're really trying to control the future a little too much. And that's when we have to be like, okay, what am I clear on? I'm clear on what I want. I'm clear on why I want it. Then okay, I get to have fun for a little bit until you give me an idea or some help on this. And you can always ask for help too. I do that sometimes too, when I just feel, if I'm feeling like really stuck on something, I'll be like, okay, God, universe, whatever you believe in, I have clearly asked for this, and this is why I want it. I know that it's going to help me to do this. Even if it's just you want it, I want it, and this is the desire from my heart. And I know that all of my desires from my heart get to be true, but it hasn't come true, and I am getting a little frustrated. I'm feeling a little stuck. Can you please help me with the next sign? Make it be abundantly clear. I am willing to do whatever is necessary, but I need your help. And that sometimes also helps us just release just the actual act of doing that, because you're kind of just surrendering. You're not doing nothing. You're acknowledging you can't do everything. And you're asking for help with the parts that you can't do. And then often just like go take a bath or do something like that'll just, get you relaxed, or even go to sleep. And then you'll wake up with so much more clarity, and clarity will help to give you those hows and the steps that it's your intuition that will guide you. And that's when you're flowing in the present moment, because your intuition, I like to call it it's your internal guidance system, because it guides you along what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. It's just the work is coming back to our intuition, because we've been taught for so long to listen to our brain, and then it was controlling us, and we realized that was not right. So it's just the work of coming back to all of this. So the fact that you're even on this path, you're doing great. You're doing great. What else did I want to mention? So yeah, like we were saying, feeling amazing. The work is really whenever you start noticing that you're not feeling amazing. That's the term that I like to say, because feeling good, you could, yeah, I guess I feel good. You could rationalize feeling good, but feeling amazing, to feel amazing, you have to know when you're feeling amazing, right? Like there's a shift in your energy. When you're feeling amazing, that's a high vibe feeling. So if you're not feeling amazing, then look at what's happening around you. Are there people around you? Are there experiences around you? Are you in a job that's not serving you? Look at these things and see if you can shift them. Shift into a new career, or change the people that you're hanging out with. But shift these things so that you can feel high vibe more often. And when you do this, then you'll be able to start manifesting more, because you'll be feeling better. And just work on feeling amazing. The more you work on feeling amazing, the more you are going to, hey Carolyn, the more you are going to be able to manifest, because you're feeling great. And when you feel great, good things happen. It's high vibe, and high vibe is when manifestations come in, because you're always manifesting, but you're not going to notice the manifestations unless they're high vibe, because those are the ones that are on your list. Those are the ones that you're calling in. Those are the ones that are really going to change the game for you. So if you can focus on shifting your energy to feeling amazing, to feeling better, to feeling fucking awesome, that is when you will be able to manifest more. It's about raising the bar, raising the standards on your own energy level, right? Like I like to act like I am a battery, and I don't get to run low. Okay, if I'm running low, it's because I am plant-based and I didn't eat enough food and I got hangry. So I know I need to go and I need to make myself some food because I'm feeling low vibe. I don't get to feel low vibe. It's just not something that happens. Now, granted, like every once in a blue moon, if something happens, like I'm not going to spiritually bypass anything. But as a basis for myself, so that I don't get to feel bad for myself, I don't get to feel stuck, I have a bar. And if I notice that my energy is getting low to that bar, which is not empty, it's a little higher than empty. Okay, we're talking like 3/4 of 1/4 of a tank. I am going to notice, and at that point, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna get up and move. Yeah, girl, we are not available for low vibes. Not available for low vibes. If you're starting to feel low, move your body. Move your body. Dance it out. Do something to make you feel good. Eat some high vibe food. Watch something that's going to make you laugh. Watch something that's going to make you feel good. Do something. Laugh with people. Anything that's high vibe, that is going to keep you manifesting. Because what happens when you're not feeling high vibe, that's when you start thinking about your manifestations, and you're often thinking about the why they're not there. And that gets you stuck in the it's not here vibe. And then it doesn't manifest because you have to be in the I got it to manifest. So you have to work on raising your vibe to the I got it level, which is a high vibe level. And so it's constantly bringing yourself up, bringing yourself up, bringing yourself up. Gratitude and get moving. Hell yes, exactly. When you're grateful for things, especially if you're seeing other people have it, like I said before, that's one of the highest vibe. Love, gratitude, and move your body. Get out of your head. Because you know who's making you high vibe? It's you probably went back into ego because you started sitting for too long. You weren't moving enough. And that can happen, right? You're creating online courses. You're coaching online. We're all freaking home on Zoom. It happens to the best of us. But what you have to do is get up. Don't let yourself sit for more than an hour. If you have to be doing something for 3 hours, fine. But get up at least 2 times in the middle of doing that. Get up. And you know what? You can get grateful while you get up. But get up and do something. Even just stretch your body. Do you know how good that feels? Stretching feels so good. Do that. Drink some water and get up to go get the water. But move your body. And if you do this throughout your day, fun fact, that's how you become a high achiever. Because high achievers don't work harder, they work smarter in the fact that they know that energy is linked to movement. When you move your body, you have energy. So keep your body moving, you keep having energy. When I used to work in a corporate job, they'd be like, how do you have so much energy? And I'd be like, because I'm moving. You've been at your desk all day. We work the same damn job, and I am literally sweating right now because I have been moving up and down the aisles. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. And I didn't get less work than anyone done. I broke records with the amount of work that I could get done. And you know why? Because I was moving. I'm always moving. It might drive people crazy. Sometimes it drives myself crazy, but I move. Yes, a lot of Zoom calls can be done on earbuds while walking outside. That's a great tip. That's a great hack too, because you're also getting outside and getting fresh air, and fresh air, that will reset you, right? Like I walked my dog and it was 32 degrees. 32 degrees. It was so cold, okay? It was so cold that I'm not gonna lie, it sucked a little bit, but we did it. We went outside, we walked, and it only sucked because my hands were cold, okay? I just didn't have gloves. I wasn't prepared enough. Didn't realize it was that cold. But I was moving and I felt good. And that's the key, is just keep moving and feel good. Even if you're on Zoom calls, you can take your earbuds with you. You can go places. Or if you feel as though that's not manageable because you have to be writing down or whatever, then just get up. But get up. Get up. And you know what? If you have to be on a Zoom call with people for longer than an hour, make everybody get up. Be that person that's just like, all right, I'm sorry, I gotta get up and stretch, and I think y'all should too. Because you will raise everyone's vibration. Because a Zoom call for that long, it can be cumbersome. I've done it. I've done trainings that long, and it gets rough. Okay, it gets rough. So yeah, don't walk around being in a bad mood. And if you keep moving, that's one way for sure not to do that. Because the things that you want are gonna come to you when you are when you're feeling great. It's just like the way it is. It starts to become easier to believe that good things will happen when you're feeling good because they'll have, I don't know where I am on these sheets. I wanted to make sure I hit all these things. I feel as though in that one question, I hit most of the things. So we're good. Lead the way. I will lead the way, girl. Leading the way, just not on these papers. So, yeah. So I said work on your mental space, work on your physical space. Because it's all about clearing up your beliefs. It's all about clearing up your beliefs so that you can feel better. When you're carrying around the weight of beliefs that don't feel good, you're not gonna feel good. So throw them out, and then you've got all this room to feel great. And when you feel great, then great thoughts come to you, and then you get to flow with them and vibe with them, because that voice that tells you, well, we shouldn't do that, because the one that's always rationalizing things and trying to make things be more adults-like, that person's boring, and that gets you a boring life. And nobody really wants a boring life, because then people start causing problems in their life when it's boring, because nobody really wants a boring life. So why don't we just make really exciting lives for ourselves all the damn time? It's up to us, and we can do it every minute of every day. We just gotta let go of that rational person, because rational's no fun, and fun's where it's at. Just have more fun and you'll manifest more things. I love to also make physical space when I need emotional space. Clean out a closet, tidy the house. Yes, exactly. I was saying earlier, if you wanna manifest a Gucci purse and you don't have any room in your closet, you're not gonna manifest the Gucci purse. You're just not going to. And that's with anything. Also, cleaning is moving. It's gonna make you feel good. And cleanliness is close to godliness. You have to have a clear space. You cannot have clutter all around you and be thinking straight. It's just not going to happen. It's going to affect you in some way or another. It's weighing you down energetically or physically. You have to clean up the stuff. You have to let it go. And also in like the super Buddhist aspect, attachment is not going to get you where you want to go. Attachment is going to keep you suffering, is really what it comes down to. So you have to be able to let go of things and realize that when you're letting go of something, you're doing it with the intention that something better is coming. Something better is always coming. Something better is always coming. And when you know this, that's when it gets to be fun, because you're like, well, I did kind of like this purse. Cool. Bye. Thank you so much, because I'm about to have a purse I fucking love. And do that with everything. If you kind of like something, if it's not actually serving you any purpose, if you're not using it, goodbye. Get rid of it. Put it somewhere else that is not in your space, because that is going to keep you holding on to things that you don't need. And there's this limiting belief behind that, most likely. So if you're actually releasing the thing, it's going to bring up that limiting belief, which is a beautiful opportunity for you to release a thing and release a belief, both of which aren't serving you. And then you've got so much room to be amped up. All right, let's see. And we talked about being the person that is the thing. So if you want to be a millionaire, start acting like a millionaire. And it's not about having $1 million before you start acting like a millionaire, right? It's about feeling like a millionaire would feel, which would be confident, happy, generous, grateful. These things don't cost you anything, but they'll get you everything. You have to change how you're feeling, how you are being, what you're believing. These are what are going to allow you to manifest. Manifestation is such an inside job. It's not just making lists and envisioning these things on the list. if you're not getting behind it, if you're not believing it as well, if you're not being it, it's not going to manifest. You have to do all of these things continuously. Shift the belief every time. Get higher vibe whenever you're feeling low. You just have to constantly be on yourself. And then it will change who you naturally are, because you'll just get so sick and tired of having to be on yourself all the time that you'll eventually just be this higher vibe person that has all this money, that is that millionaire. Feel confident, feel happy, feel generous, feel grateful. That doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything, but it will get you everything. It will get you everything. You know, the old paradigm that says you have to wait until you have something to change, it's going to keep you waiting. It's going to keep you waiting forever. We have to shift into the new paradigm. You have to be the person that you want to be first. Like I was talking about earlier, quantum leaping. The people that come from nothing, all of the rags to riches stories that you've ever heard, they all did this right before the people in their lives believed them. All of the people in their lives, most of them anyway, told them they were crazy, because they were saying they could be something that they had never even seen before, that they didn't believe could be true. And the person that actually accomplished it, they believed it regardless of what all of the people around them believed. And despite the fact that the external world did not give them a reality where this could actually seemingly come true, they believed that something would happen, and then the reality shifted to make it happen. They started meeting people that could help them get to that place. They started being in the right place at the right time. And then all of these steps, the stars aligned, and here they are. Now they are the person that we're all looking up to, because they believed it before it was actually even a possibility. You have to decide what you want to believe, and you have to know that no one else around you has to believe it. But even if they don't, you have to believe in it even more, because that's what it's going to take for you to manifest the big things. That's what it's going to take, your belief. The belief that you can do anything and have anything that you want. Keep believing that. Keep reaffirming that, even when no one else is. That is where you're gonna manifest everything from, because at that point, anything can be true. Anything can be true. And anything can be true. You just gotta get yourself there. Get yourself there. It's a constant daily act. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep believing. Keep opening up yourself to receive. Keep being the person that you want to be. Keep doing the things that you're being guided to do, that your intuition is leading you to, that your inner guidance system is leading you to, that intuitive guidance is there for a reason. It's going to get you to the places where you need to go. Listen to that more. These are the steps in manifesting. Getting clear on what you want, knowing why you want it, and then doing these steps. This is what will manifest anything that you want. And adding in feeling too. You have to feel amazing. Yeah. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. If you would like to work on a specific manifestation, if you feel as though there's just one thing that you're really trying to call in, you're really trying to get clear on, and you're having some trouble with it, if you're feeling stuck, then I have an offering that's called a Manifestation One-on-One, and that's an hour with me where we'll go through what you want, why you want it, we'll go through those limiting beliefs, and I'll give you a mantra to take home. I'll give you a journal prompt to work on that you can help integrate these beliefs with, and that'll be an hourly session. If you want to go deeper, if you're feeling called to, I have a 4-month program where I teach you manifestation, money, mindset and wellness. We go deep. I give you all of the information that you need to change your life, because honestly, I feel like with those 4 topics, you're unstoppable, right? And that's what we want to be. So anyway, love you all so much. Check me out on my website if you want to go to any of those offerings, and follow me on Instagram if you're not yet. Share this with anybody if you'll think it'll change their life, because I know it changed mine. All right, goodbye.